Hi everyone, Heather here with PersephoneReturns.com, and today I am here to talk about the rising sign and what the energy of the rising sign is like versus the ascendant sign. And oh my goodness, this sage that I lit is going crazy for some reason. Sorry about the little smoke screen going on, but anyway, I've decided that I'm going to do a short series of videos where I talk about some of the most frequently asked questions that I get in terms of astrology and astrology readings and all those types of things. So if you're new to astrology, or even if you already have a good background in astrology, maybe you don't fully understand the difference between the sun and the ascendant sign because they are kind of similar energies. And I know that that was something when I was first learning astrology that was a little bit confusing to me, because all the descriptions of the ascendant sign, if you looked at like the cookbook astrology texts and when you listen to people talk about your ascendant sign and like the sun sign and all those different things, they sounded very similar. And so I wanted to just do a quick video explaining the difference between the sun sign and the rising sign. And as always, if you want me to go through your rising sign in depth, your sun sign in depth, and all of your other planetary placements, you can always book a reading with me. The link to do that is in the description below. But as far as your sun sign and your ascendant sign, these are actually, they're similar energies in that they're both expressions of energy through physicality, but they're different in where that expression comes from. And so when you look at the rising sign is the sign that was on the eastern horizon from the exact moment and the exact placement of your birth. So exactly where and when you were born, the sign that was the tropical zodiac sign, because I do tropical astrology, that would be the sign that was rising on the eastern horizon. The descendant sign, which is on the opposite end of the spectrum, that's the sign that was setting on the western horizon. And that is more representative of your long-term commitments, long-term partnerships and marriage, those types of things. It's sort of the counterbalance and the opposition to the rising or the ascendant sign. And what the ascendant sign represents is essentially it's this filter, it's this lens through which we perceive the world and the lens through which other people perceive us. It's more like our persona. And so when people first meet us, they see a combination of our sun sign and our rising sign because those are the most physical expressions of energy in the natal chart, unless you have maybe like a stellium of planets somewhere else or something along those lines, or a lot of water and you're an air sign or something, and that'll come out in different ways. But for the most part, in general, they're going to see a combination of your sun sign and your rising sign and what that energy looks like. And so your rising sign more has to do with this image that you project into the world. It's this sort of role you play or this mask that you wear. And so we learn to develop our rising sign and this energy through our early childhood experience, because oftentimes what was deemed appropriate by our environment, by our parents, by the people that surrounded us, what was sort of appreciated and accepted in our early childhood environment is an expression of this rising sign energy. So for an example, if you were an Aries rising, you would have been maybe more loved and accepted for being very willful, very powerful, very energetic, playing rough, going and playing outside, doing things that are very physical, being, independent minded, initiating new projects on your own, all those types of things. And that could have been through, your parents reinforcing that behavior for whatever reason, or maybe you had like a lot of brothers and you were a female and you had to keep up, or, maybe just the environment demanded that you become more independent for one reason or another. But there are a lot of different ways that this can develop. But we essentially learn that we gain love and appreciation by expressing the energy of our rising sign. And I talked about this a little bit more in depth in a video on Astrolotta's channel. So if you're interested in that, you can jump back over to her channel and search my playlist and find that. The sun, though, on the other hand, is a little bit different. It represents the soul's expression of the soul's expression of purpose in the physical reality. So it's like the way that your soul, the core of your being, expresses itself out in the world. So while your rising sign might not be who you truly are on the inside, your sun sign is. And so you need to express the energy of your sun sign in order to feel meaningful, in order to feel purposeful, in order to feel successful in this lifetime, because it's part of your purpose, right? This is your true self, your soul. And so you really need to engage with that energy in order to feel like you're fulfilled, in order to, get that vital life force energy flowing as well. Because when we don't engage with the energy of our sun sign, we can become depressed because, again, it's that vital life force energy that the sun represents as well. And so it's really important for our optimism, our sense of well-being, our sense of purpose, our sense of success, to engage with the sun sign energy. And again, that is a physical expression, but it's different than this rising sign energy, which more has to do with our persona and an image that we portray in order to gain love and acceptance. And so that's why upon first meeting people, they'll often see our rising signs a little bit more so. Unless we're deeply connected to our sun sign, right? A lot of us are, so we get a little bit of both, but it's sort of a defense mechanism because we learned through our early childhood experience that this is the energy, this rising sign energy that gets us love and appreciation. So when we meet people, you know, we want them to love us. We want them to accept us. We want them to appreciate us and to sort of take in our energy in a positive way. So we usually show up as more of our rising sign. Not always the case, but you know, for most people, a lot of the time. And so yeah, that's just a short, brief explanation of the difference between the sun sign and the rising sign. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about your rising sign or your sun sign, you can comment in the description of this video below, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. And you can always, of course, book a reading with me. My website is persephonereturns.com. The link will be in the description below, and we can go really in depth into your sun sign and your rising sign together. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.